Alright, we're meeting back today, just kind of recap what we talked about the other day because it didn't record. So, let's talk back about, again, kind of go over when you observed me, what you
Yes.
noticed and what you saw. You were looking for the modeling,
Right,
focusing on the objective, and the reaffirming what they were learning.
absolutely.
Okay, so,
And so, of course, the
real quick what you
students
saw.
were identified, they were told that they were going to, you first told them they're gonna learn this, and they're going to identify the letters A through G.
Mhm.
And you, of course, told them how you expected them to sit, what your expectations were for them to be at the center, then what you expected them to be participating and learning. You modeled, of course, what you wanted them to identify the letter and not the picture,
Mhm.
which is something that I need to reteach so that they're more aware of that as opposed to finding a picture. And then, of course, you praised them, and when they did what you asked them to do, you drew little pictures, kind of like what I do, so that gives them that positive reinforcement to keep working hard. And that's something that I see that I'm doing now. I'm using that, the I do, we do, you do, y'all do, so it's kind of more, which I knew I'm supposed to be doing that, but because like I say, I've never really seen it in a small group setting, and that just worked better for me, so now I'm putting it in my reading and everything else.
Well, good, alright. So, now tell me again, just kind of go over how you've taken all this that we've talked about, these strategies, and how you're using them in other areas of your room.
Well, like with the reading, of course, we do the word wall, and that's where the sight words every morning. And it's, of course, I started out by showing them how I do that, and then we all do it together, and then they do it. But like with words and stuff that they're learning for their amazing words, and when we're breaking down the words and then blending them together, sounding on each one, of course, I tell them this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do it first, then we're going to do it together, and then you're going to do it on your own, and then we'll all do it again.
Right.
And so that's what I'm using in the classroom now in reading, of course in math.
Well, it's good that you're
I'm doing it more in
all
math
these
too.
strategies you can use in other areas. So, well, good. All right, and then we talked about we had concerns about doing the same thing every day with the intervention and some other things. What were the other things we had talked about?
Like with the small groups, them getting bored with doing the same thing. And I told you the only thing I had ever really been shown was the math, was the sound walk folders. And so you had talked about doing bingo with them. And then even in with some of my centers for writing and reading you gave me different strategies and different centers that I can do with them. As far as like with the pictures, they can make a list. And that way they're not going over there and me not able to see what they're doing. They're doing something totally different than what they're supposed to be doing, even though I've modeled it and they know what they're supposed to be doing. Because when I'm in this group, they'll take advantage of that. So that's something I thought would be good because too, they're getting bored with that.
Right. And then we talked about playing the alphabet bingo.
Right.
And then if they did what they were supposed to on Monday here with the sound cards, then they'd get to do that on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, same thing.
And you suggested that I record myself, even though I don't like it.
I think you came up with that. I think you said that you were going to record yourself so you could watch yourself.
Yes.
Just to have that outside look at yourself and what you were doing, and then you could critique yourself.
And that way I can see what
you're
if I'm missing something. I think I'm doing it, and then am I actually doing it, or is it just going through my head as I'm planning everything out? Am I really following through with all of it? So that's important to me to make sure I'm doing that.
Right, and it's easy to record yourself. You can just set it up and record yourself,
Right.
and then in your privacy, you can watch it and make notes of things you notice.
Right, you recommended the journal, so that's a good idea too for me to reflect on how the lesson went.
Yeah,
and of course I know we're taught that, but actually doing it every single time too makes a difference.
And then
so I did get a journal.
Making sure you stay focused on the objective.
Right.
We talked about in your lesson plan writing what your objective is on a sticky note and putting it there, so when you're looking, you remember what your objective is, so that way you don't kind of go off. You stick to your objective, so that way when you assess them, you can make sure you're assessing something y'all actually taught. And then
writing the objective too. I'm like for my small groups, putting on a little board and sticking it back here so I can make sure that I am covering that in case they do go off in another direction. I can refocus and get back to where we need to be.
Right, and it helps them if they know the objective and they know what they're coming over here to learn. Because we talked about that with you, how you learn.
Yes.
You do a lot better if you know what you're supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be learning.
And if
you
I
just
see it,
came,
absolutely.
and if you just came to a table and they start teaching and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to be learning?
And that was the way it was with the soundwalk folders, because I had never
Right.
done those. I had not, that was really not explained to me. Just a brief, and I was like,
Here you go.
okay, yeah, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
because I've been thrown in the middle of the year, or the part of the year where I have. So yeah, that's helped me to realize, okay, they need that explicit instruction just as
Mhm.
much as I've needed it.
Right, and see,
So-
that's where the coaching thing
Right,
benefits you. You can see, you have somebody to partner with, that you can see doing
Yes.
the things instead of just telling you, okay, this is what you need to be doing, and you really don't know what you're supposed
right.
to be doing. So that's why it's, it's good to work with your coach. And then, I think what else did we, the next steps.
Yes,
Talk about Miss Terry is gonna take all the notes and she's gonna read
Right.
everything that we've done, and she's got them, I gave them to her.
right,
So, and she's gonna read over them, and then she's gonna get with you, and when she observes next time, she's gonna observe the stuff that we worked on
right,
to see if it was something that you need to continue working on, or if
Right.
it's something you feel like you've mastered and you wanna move on to something else to work on.
yes,
And I think we talked about, the next thing that you wanted help with was your centers.
right,
Planning your activities for your centers, so that
Right.
way they would stay engaged in their centers,
yes,
getting ideas for what to do with them. So that would be something, that we wrote down for her to work with you on after this is all mastered. When
Right.
you feel comfortable doing this,
yes,
doing those the strategies we worked on. And remember, all these strategies that we worked on, you taking them and applying them
to what best fits me.
to what best fits you. That's the main point. It's not, I came in here, don't try to do it exactly like I did it, because I do it one way and you do it one way, and you're their teacher, and it would be kind of boring if everybody done it exactly the same way.
Right,
But it's just remembering those strategies, remembering the model, so they know what to do.
Right.
Remember to stay focused on your objective, what you're teaching them, so they know what they're
well,
being
even with
taught.
making the hats today, I use that.
Right.
This is what the finished product's gonna look like, and here's how we're gonna do it step by step. Watch
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Well, and that's good, with that kind of stuff,
Angels Daycare, Angels Daycare.
that's good, but, I learned too, sometimes it's better just get them, it depends, again, what your objective is. Is
Right.
your objective
Right,
for them to use their creativity themselves and make something themselves, or is it y'all all make the same thing?
right.
Based on what your objective is. And see, there it goes back to your objective again. It's always based on your objective.
Absolutely.
Because like if your objective was for them to draw a picture and tell a story about it, well, if you're sitting up there and everybody's drawing the same picture,
Right,
then you're not meeting your objective.
right,
Because the objective is for them to draw a picture and tell about it.
right,
See, that's why
Have to illustrate
knowing
it.
your objective is so important, and
Right.
sticking to that one objective is important. And then the reaffirming, we talked about that, when you do your sight work, yes, this is the word.
Yes.
right, yes. this
that way
is
they're
the letter.
hearing it at least 3 times and they're getting correct
Right,
response.
and that way if they hear somebody else,
And cause that does happen.
you've noticed now.
Oh yeah, I've noticed. I'm like, no, this is the word so and so, and
Right.
this is, and then I'll try to even use it in a sentence to help
Yeah.
them. Because
Well,
I've
that's good
got
for
one that will
comprehension.
shout that out. She'll just, and I'm like, no, that
But
was
see,
not the
before
word.
we said it,
Right,
you
it
weren't
didn't,
thinking about
didn't
that.
dawn on me as much. Now I'm much more coherent and aware of it going on. And
Good.
so I'm quick to say, no, this is it, and make sure I reaffirm that.
Right,
And I even have them repeat it with me.
make
so
sure
that-
they're
to make
saying
sure
it right.
they're saying it right.
Yeah, well, good. All right, well, thank you very much for doing this with me.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me bother you.
No, it's helping me, and I appreciate it. I really do.
And I'll keep helping you if you want me to help you, but
Yes,
you're doing good, you're doing
I'm
good.
trying.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.